Hi. All right, so you guys learn best through stories. And so we're going to work on this story. All right. I'm going to tell you the story of the little growly butt. Little growly butt. That was his name. And in this case, he's going to be a guy, but quite honestly, this little growly butt is genderless and could be either a woman or a man. This little growly butt had a range of emotions, mostly negative. You see, couldn't hear himself on the inside. He couldn't see himself on the inside. Just like you cannot see what you're doing because you're unconscious. This little growly butt did the exact same thing. Everywhere growly butt went. Held a story of pain, of torment, of victimhood, and continued to hold on to the story completely unconscious of his creation. So growly butt, no matter what, would walk into a store, and growly butt would encounter people that would do what? Growl at him. That's why we're calling him growly butt. And they would grrr, and he would step back and go, what the hell's wrong with you people? And then would come back home and be like, boy, the world is full of growly butts. What the fuck is this? And would be confused and would continue to walk about. And one day, growly butt was taken into court for a speeding ticket, and the judge had the audacity to be growly at growly butt and was like, growly butt, sit your ass down. I'm speaking. Growly butt looks at this creation and goes, what in the fuck? And he's so tempted to growl back, but growly butt cannot because they're in court. And this position, this mirror of growly butt is in a position of authority. And as such, growly butt has no choice but to sit down and wait and whatever is being said. All right? So, as such, can you imagine a world in which growly butt is completely unaware of what he says, of what he does, because he's never seen himself in the mirror and has yet to understand that every human being that encounters growly butt must show growly butt what growly butt looks like? Of course, he has no idea. He has no idea. All that growly butt knows is that growly butt says, well, if they weren't growly at me, I wouldn't be growly back. I'm totally cool. But is growly butt cool? Because growly butt spends a lot of time thinking. A lot of time thinking. And ruminates on everything negative that has ever happened in his life. Over and over and over again, these thoughts and this attachment and this addiction to being growly and justifying being growly because, hello, the world is growly. I don't know why the world is growly, growly butt would say. And so, one day, growly butt meets the spirit guide. And the spirit guide says, well, growly butt, have you not realized that there is no one out there? That the only thing that you have done is encountered yourself everywhere. And that the mirror of yourself must represent you in every dimension, in every direction. And if all you do is talk about how powerless you are, how awful the things that you've gone through, and all you do is ruminate on the negative things, then Growly Butt, as your spirit inside of you, I have no choice but to show up as you are. Have you understood this yet, Growly Butt? No, 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 Growly Butt says. No, 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 Growly Butt says. I assure you that when I arrived, all these growly people came at me out of nowhere. They were there before me, I assure you, I promise you, I didn't create that. No, 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 no. I don't know what you're talking about. And so the spirit guide with great patience says, but Growly Butt, have you considered how often you are growling inside your head? Have you considered how often you think about the pain? How often you ruminate on what's wrong? Have you considered that all you do is speak about victimhood? Have you thought that all that you ever freaking focus on is what's wrong? Have you not understood yet, Growly Butt? In love is love reflected. Have you not understood that I have no choice but to appear as you are so you can see yourself? I don't know about that. I don't understand this whole thing because I know that it was there before me. Was it not? Was it not you? Are you not seeing your words and the confession of your character made real in every dimension at once? Have you ever tried smiling? Have you ever considered redirecting that focus and ruminating on all the good in your life? I'm ruminating that despite your efforts to destroy yourself over and over again with the insanity of only focusing on pain, have you not noticed that somehow, somewhere, you always come out on top? Have you not noticed that every time someone appears in your world, even if they make you aware of how growly you are being, it is to serve you? So you can see what's going on inside your head? Hang on, you guys. I have battery problems. Alright, let's see. Give me a second. Technical difficulties. I am plugged back in. Alright. So, have you considered that, Growly Butt? That outside of you is a blank canvas. It's a blank, empty canvas. Perfectly clear, perfectly transparent. Extreme light from every direction. Have you not seen that? Oh, no, 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 no. I don't see that at all. I only see a bunch of growly people out there. Oh, yeah? Well, have you considered that you only see the confession of your character? Have you considered that you, all the time, do this thing that causes you pain? And you attach to this pain. And you hold on to it for dear life. And then when you forget, and you let it go, and you drop it for just a moment, you start walking about the countryside. And suddenly, you encounter yourself. Your true self. The Growly Butt that has always been there. And instead of looking at it with love and understanding and compassion and self-recognition, because that's really all that's required for you to go through the veil of your Growly Butt self, that you fight and you growl back. Have you noticed it? Growly Butt says, I think I understand, sort of. know if I understand this whole backwards and forward time. So the spirit guide says, well, listen, there's no such thing as time. It's a blank screen. You make the illusion of time and space in your head. All of it serves you. All of it must show you who you are. And until you become aware of it, you will be a victim to your own story. Because you can't see yourself. You can't see anything at all. Have you ever considered that you can't see your image unless someone holds up a mirror? Well, every single human being in the world is a mirror into you, Growly Butt. And if all you ever do is growl, 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 and talk about all the negative things, and over again, the pain, and the suffering, and the victimhood, and your poverty, and your lack, and all the things that go wrong in your life, that's all you can get? Because that's all that you're doing? So Growly Butt goes, let me get this straight. You mean to say there's no one out there? And that the only thing I've ever seen is the thoughts in my head? And the spirit guide says, yes, I mean to say that to you. It's the only thing you've ever seen. It's the only thing you will ever see. And the more you avoid the present moment and the work that you're serving as the veil against, the more you will suffer, you see, because it is called a shadow, and you're casting it with your mind light. You project this darkness into the world, and then instead of dealing with it, instead of recognizing it as yourself, you attempt to bypass it. And you attempt to run away from it, right? Block, 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 get rid of it, go away, go away. And so you run in this direction. It seems like the sensible thing to do, doesn't it? Well, Growly Butt says, absolutely, I don't want to deal with this stuff. I don't want to see it. Of course it seems like the sensible thing to do. Have you noticed, though, that it follows you wherever you go? Oh, it does seem to follow me, doesn't it? Yes, Growly Butt, it does. Do you know why? Because your eyes are designed to deceive you. Your eyes actually project what you make in your head backwards. And so, as you attempt to run away from your story, instead of running away, it chases you. And so you struggle against yourself. Instead of standing still and knowing that you are God, the source of what you're seeing, and struggling against yourself, how about you take a look at it instead? And take a moment and look at it as the confession of your character, as the unconscious creation that needs your touch. How about instead of being growly, you tried taking all that focus that you place in that painful place, placing it somewhere else. Did you know that God's ideas are whole? Did you know that whatever you think right now, the opposite is also true? Did you know that you are the veil and that you can either live in the confession of your shadow or the confession of your light? And that the only person holding you hostage is you, Growly Butt. Well, Growly Butt's sitting there thinking about it. And really, really confused because Growly Butt sees a shit ton of people out there. To date, Growly Butt might see about 8 billion. All living in different stages of life, in every multi-dimensional direction you can see. Growly Butt is aware that there are happy people, there are people that don't seem to struggle at all, and there are people that have extreme suffering. And Growly Butt sees it in every direction, and says, so how do I become one of those people that don't suffer? Ah, now that's the question, Growly Butt. You see, Growly Butt, if you become aware of what you're thinking, the confession of your character will show up differently. And you will understand what your instruction manual told you when it said, please renew your mind so that you can see a new world. Because nothing is existing out there except how you see the things that you're choosing to see, and judge and condemn the things that you choose to judge and condemn. But if you don't understand that everything is you, you lock yourself out. And so instead of seeing the light, you see darkness upon the whole world. Do you know why that is, Growly Butt? Well, why? Growly Butt asks. Well, you see, you are a great light. You are a massive, massive light. It provides the contrast that's all around you that you're unable to see. And this massive light is nothing but love and purity and wholeness and beauty and things to appreciate and solutions for every single problem. But when you choose to cast the darkness against the light, you will only see darkness. Growly Butt, if you took a moment, just one moment, to stop growling at the world, you would learn that the world would stop growling back. You would assume your position in the world as the great big giant light that you are. Hey, Spirit Guide, nobody's ever talked to me like this. Everybody always growls at me. I know. Because before you understood who you were, you must be unconscious in your creation so that you can learn on the job how it works and the consequence of your actions. You see, every time you growled back, you made more people to growl at you on every dimension. And so this was magnified instead. So you made more growly people. And you growled back, and you made more growly people. And you growled back again, and you made more growly people. All in your image. You see, Growly Butt, I told you from the beginning, I said, let us make mankind in our image. This partnership is of the most importance because nothing exists without you. You and I are one. And I agreed, since we could not be divided, to play every person in your world until you remembered who you were. Growly Butt, are you ready to be kind? Are you ready to be nice? Are you ready to focus on something other than pain? Growly Butt says, yes, I want that more than anything. But what do I do about all the growliness out there? Because there's a lot of growliness. Like, you know what? And I said, what? Do you see my skin color? And I said, yes, I see your skin color. Well, in my world, my skin color determines how I'm shown. I said, really? Have you ever considered that that belief is the reason it's showing up? No, the evidence is all around me. It was there before I ever thought that. I didn't create that. Oh, really? Then you have not found the beginning, and you are focused on your end. You see, every single belief that you've ever had is on display. And if you choose to let your skin color be your problem, it will be your problem. You get to be right, and you get to keep all limitations in your world. You see, there is no other authority other than you from your point of perception, and everybody gets this dominion over their world. So if you choose to embody this victimhood based on the color of your skin, you are missing out on the potential of people that rise above this circumstance. It has nothing to do with their skin color, because their skin color does not define them, not in this way. In fact, it is their source of power. You are choosing to make it your source of victimhood. Growly Butt says, okay. So you mean to tell me that I chose this and that I chose to embody this? For what purpose? Oh, Growly Butt. You see, you are collectively everywhere. Everybody chooses to be Growly Butt at some point in their lives. And everybody suffers the consequence of those actions. And you understood that. So Growly Butt, you put on a Growly Butt costume. And then you took my spirit and you animated it in the world so that one day you could wake up, realize who you were, and show people how to ungrowl themselves. That's a mighty tall order. You think so, Growly Butt? Yeah, at a tall order. That's a big world out there. Well, I said, Growly Butt, what if your spirit were bigger than the world that you think you're seeing, and that really you're just a speck of dust, a moment in eternity? You're seeing such a small window of a much larger picture, and by choosing to judge your creation, instead of getting to work on realizing that how you think is what you see, you miss your mark. It is your job to change how you think on the inside. And if anyone does you the extreme favor of showing you how you're thinking, instead of getting angry with them, it's really time to be okay with yourself instead. So you choose when to let go of the pain. But you know what you're doing? Growly Butt says, what? You're doing something called pain addiction. And it is a common problem amongst all people in the world. And it takes a lot to let go of that pain. A lot. And that is why you serve this purpose. You chose this. You're a great, great, great big spirit that you can't even fathom the size of your spirit. And as such, you do yourself a disservice. So are you going to wake up, Growly Butt? Is it time to stop ruminating on the pain? Is it time to wake up? Are you going to set that alarm and be a different person in the world? Are you going to wake up to your purpose? Or are you going to continue to walk away from the light of your understanding, away from your creation, away from your soul's purpose, and continue to experience the things that you don't want? Growly Butt says, oh, no. I'm not dying in the world out there like this. And I said, well, good. Good. So it's time then. It's time to stop ruminating on the negative. It's time to realize that when the pain hits, that's your seeing eye dog. Because you have no other way of seeing unless someone comes up and shows you how you are being on the inside and how you've been and how you're going to be. You have no other way of seeing. So there are going to be times when without the reflective surface, you're going to have to become aware of what you are creating. Okay, how does that work? Well, you have this thing called an emotional body. And this emotional body is going to help you see when you realize that you're going in the wrong direction. And this emotional body is going to stand up and serve you with something we call pain. I always thought pain was a bad thing, says Growly Butt. We all have. We're afraid of it. we run from it. But do you remember what I said? It follows you when you run from it, because your eyes are designed to deceive you. If you are the one casting the pain, you must walk towards it with the light of your understanding, not away from it. You must not bypass your creation. You must not bypass the things that you're doing. You must face them in the present moment, because that's the only way to get to the other side of the shadow you are casting upon the world. If you run, go in the opposite direction. So, your emotional body is going to notify you with pain, anger, all kinds of negative emotions on purpose to let you know how to see inside the mirror. So that rather than continuing on the wheel of karma, having it repeat over and over and over and over again, you can end the vicious cycle by simply getting off. Being able to look at your construct with love, with understanding, with appreciation, and take all the little actors in your creation and smile at them and say, thank you. Thank you. I forgot I was behaving like this. You can love them from a distance. You don't have to worry about it. But I need you to understand, everything in this world serves you. And when the pain hits, that's your seeing eye dog letting you know that you are going against what you want. And you are going away from your light instead of towards it. Can you remember that for me, Growly Butt? I think I can. But I'm going to fall asleep sometimes. And I'm going to forget. And I'm going to react because, they're kind of mean out there. I know. That's why you have me. And I'm going to be this invisible voice. It's always going to walk with you. And when you need me, I'll create another body. And I'll say exactly the right thing. Or I'll write the words in advance. I make something called the universe for you. And I promise you that you are not alone. And that I will walk with you everywhere you go. And when you need it most, I will pick you up and I will carry you. So far up from your creation of the lower dimensions that you have nothing to worry about. Your only job, Growly Butt, is don't worry. Your only job is letting go of your attachment to pain. Instead, face it, look at it, reparent yourself, and use something that is absolutely always true. God's ideas are whole. The opposite is also true. And so if you forget, I need you to do it for a little while, 5-10 minutes tops. Feel whatever you gotta feel. And then pick yourself back up and remember that this is the work you came to do. If you can do that for me, the world will be a better place. You will change everything in it. And all the little growly butt reflections will go away. I promise. All the pain will go away. And although you'll remember those times, they'll be behind you like a long and distant memory. The path is filled with light if you choose to follow it, you guys. I promise you this. Don't be afraid of your creation. Smile at fear. Smile at the things that you reject and dare to walk towards it, not away. Until you understand, until you understand how you make everything. When you get that down, you'll know your power as creator. That is true awakening. And only you can decide when that's going to be. Please remember this. Always. Always, always, always. Love you.